Hi, my name is Susan, and this is my story. I grew up in church. I grew up in a small town upstate New York outside Buffalo, and going to church every Sunday was just like what we did. I loved it. It was a big part of my life. As I got older, I became very involved in the youth group, ran the youth group, and then I met my husband, I got married, I had kids. I got married in the Catholic Church. All of our kids were baptized in the Catholic Church, and we're still pretty much an Easter, Christmas crew. And then when my oldest son, Ryan, was about 2 or 3, I realized that it was really time for us to get back to church. I wanted our kids to have the same background and values that, both my husband and I had grown up with. So my husband, having been raised Catholic and identifying as a Catholic, wanted us to go to a Catholic church. I said, sure, no problem, but you're going to have to take over because I'm not really that comfortable with it. So, here we are at the Lutheran Church. I have, worked my whole life and had for many years a big job. About 15 years ago or so, I lost that big job. It was very difficult for me. I was a wreck. I wasn't eating, wasn't sleeping, really just was besides myself. Our family had become used to that income, and I knew that I had to, do my part to contribute to our family. So one night, laying awake, worrying about it, and praying, I guess. And all of a sudden, the only way I can explain it is that this overwhelming calmness and serenity came over me. And that was really just God speaking to me saying, Susan, it's going to be okay. After that, I still worried and I was still nervous, but there wasn't that overwhelming anxiety that I had been living with for weeks. And that really changed my relationship with God. I wasn't just a believer who was coming to church and, maybe doing Sunday school. I really became focused on developing a relationship with Jesus. Two of those people who come to mind are Sue and Zach Wilhoit. They reach out all the time, and always it's heartfelt and sincere. A couple of years ago, I was commuting and I ran into Zach in Penn Station. He said, "Hey, Sue, how's it going?" And I broke down and started crying. So Zach caught me at a moment and he pulled me aside and talked to me and prayed with me right in the middle of Penn Station. How awesome is that? I find Sue and Zach and many people here to be an inspiration, and I always want to try and be, more like them. Another person who really inspires me is maybe a little bit of a surprise, but it's my daughter. We're supposed to be role models for our kids, but when it comes to walking with Christ, she is a role model for me. She is so far along in her journey for a 19-year-old, and we talk about it a lot, and she encourages me, and I am beyond thankful, of course, that God gave her to me, but that He, also puts her in a position to not only influence me, but to influence many others that she comes into contact with. It's not a journey that we're supposed to do alone. The Bible tells us this, and I can just attest from personal experience, don't do it alone. Find community, find a partner. He'll put it in your path when you're not even looking for it. There's so many, things I could say, but I guess the most important news is that, two things really. I guess one, that I am loved, but most importantly, that speaks to me every day, that I am forgiven. I am a sinner. And sometimes you think about your sin and other times you don't, but sometimes it's human nature to really just dwell on your mistakes and dwell on the sin. But again, Jesus will speak to me and talk to me and let me know that I am His, I am a child of God, and I am forgiven. What more could I ask for?